Oh, if you keep accusing me of weird things like that, I might. Can't like 8th graders. Oh,
Isn't
hello.
it sad though too? Did you hear about the one like Orion kid or the
Yeah, I
sophomore
just heard
going to
about that
jail,
today.
going to prison?
Ooh.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Very sad.
Are we live?
Not yet.
Okay, good.
You're doing the opening, right?
Yeah, I'm doing opening. You know.
I'm a little suspicious of what's going on here.
You know.
I think I might have a good idea. Who came up with this bright idea? Huh?
I'm gonna tell.
Whose bright idea was this?
I'll tell you afterwards. It ain't easy growing up in World War III.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
It ain't easy. It ain't easy coaching Mallory Behrman.
No, it's not.
Actually, it's easy for you because you coach her. Me, I
For
get
me, because I tried to get the heck out of here.
me. I coach a winner.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I coach a great girls basketball player. And then I get to coach I coach a warrior. My second girl is a warrior.
6:29.
Shut up. Pat, you're
Are
terrible.
we live?
Pat, you're terrible. Good evening, Lake Orion. I'm your host.
Wait. First, before we do the intro, we like to go to channel from the Lansing area, channel 3. We have a special video to tell you all. Here it is right now with the story.
So it's functional, you show team spirit, and most importantly, you stay warm.
Oh, I stay very warm.
All right, the Tiger getup is certainly stylish and attention-getting, but doesn't look warm.
I'm living on tiger blood, so the flow through my veins is warm at all times.
You didn't steal that from Charlie Sheen, did you?
Sure did.
All right, folks, no one's staying warmer tonight than my man Kid Rock.
Why?
What? Is it
Why? That's terrible. That was terrible. That's the reason why the Tigers lost the World Series. That's why the Tigers lost the World Series. That's why they lost the World Series, because you were wearing that hideous Tiger disguise. That's hideous.
Did you ever think maybe? They
Why don't you
lost
just
the
grow a
series?
tail on
Look
that?
at you.
Why don't you just grow a tail on that?
Why don't you grow a tail?
You grow
Why
one.
don't you grow a mustache? And be
You
cool?
grow
All right,
a
let's
tail.
go to intro, ladies and gentlemen.
Grow a tail. Jeez.
Get a life. We're still alive.
We still
All right.
There we go.
Hello, Lake Orion. Between Taorminas, hope you enjoyed that video of our good esteemed colleague Ian Weatherspoon at the Tigers game. Ian,
Yes, right here.
what did you think? What did you think?
What did I think?
Yeah.
I think I had a blast.
That was terrible.
But the Tigers lost. So let's go with the Tigers' first topic.
Let's just roll up into
Let's
the
just
Tigers
roll
right
the
now.
Tigers right now. Let's
All right.
talk about the Tigers.
Well, I think
They
they
lost.
lost because of your brother.
You think that?
100%.
Why?
Because you'll back me up on this, and so are the viewers out there. They know. All year, he was hitting the panic button. Panic level at 15 in May. He was done with this team. And then, oh, hey, they win the Central, okay? And he's back. He's back. And all of a sudden, they're going to win the World Series. What happened? What happened in the World Series?
Sammy, what's your response?
Well, I think, Ian, if you look at it here, Ian, it's crazy because I know my Facebook picture, I updated a Tigers logo. But
That's your fault.
yeah, no, it's not. You got to look at what the Tigers did, you know. They went cold. Verlander struggled game 1, game 2, Fister he pitched well. Tigers didn't give any offense. Game 3 was just Sanchez pitched well.
Yeah.
Couldn't get any offense. And then
I
game
did my
4,
part game 3.
you didn't do your part
I did my part.
because the Tigers were cursed because of your appearance.
I think they got the Saginaw Bay curse.
Do you guys think, though, both of you guys, do you guys think that the layoff after winning the ALCS kind of got to the Tigers?
You don't want to blame it on that, but I think you can't argue that,
Yeah, it did.
that had some effect, right?
Yeah, it did. Very similar to 2006. I mean, like, you know, when the Tigers swept Oakland that year, they just struggled against St. Louis. The same thing that happened with the Yankees, and then they lost to San Francisco. You know, what can you do? You know, there's virtually, you can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? You just beat the Yankees were not the greatest. They were the most overrated team. You know what I mean? And then, like, what would you do if you think about it? Then
You play to win every game.
play to win every game, yeah.
Did you guys notice, though, too, that that how cocky, how arrogant the Giants were? They were cocky.
If I may use a phrase, I would say that really pissed me off.
Mhm.
I really didn't like their antics, especially culprit number 1, Angel Pagan. He was screaming, yelling, him and Hunter Pence. Ugh.
Got the Panda Bears, the number 3.
It's hard because they were winning the whole
I
time.
just don't understand why
It's hard to watch.
Pavel Sandoval had Justin Verlander's number. I don't understand it at all. How could somebody have a number like that?
I think what we saw from Verlander was a case of, hey, I'm Justin Verlander, and I don't really know or care who you are. And the Giants wanted it, and they got to him. You know, he didn't pitch like he did in Game 5 against Oakland. You know, Oakland was fighting for their lives that game, and Verlander went out and had to prove himself, you know. Big game, big spot. You know, he owned that stage.
But also,
Game
too,
1,
he's
he did
human.
not. He is, but I don't know. He was too much. I think he was too much. He didn't let his pitches pitch themselves, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Now, obviously, today they had a couple press. Leland's coming back for another year. We're not going to see Valverde anymore. We're not going to see Delman Young.
Thank God.
Thank God. Thank God.
They're going to try to re-sign Sanchez. What do you guys think about those moves?
Well, first off, I'll ask you the question. What do you think is a fair contract for Sanchez?
Probably about 4 years and about maybe $50 million.
Whoa.
I'll say 2 years. 2 years.
2 years, how much?
23.
I think
2 years, $23 million?
I think the Tigers are going to go after Josh Hamilton. They have a chance to go after Josh Hamilton. I think Josh Hamilton.
If they go after Josh Hamilton, I retire from television.
Josh Hamilton would help this team out a lot. He can
No.
back in the lineup.
No.
He can play left field. He can play.
He can get drunk and have back spasms and play half the season.
But we didn't think Prince Fielder would come to Detroit.
I don't want Hamilton.
I want him.
I don't want him.
I want Hamilton in Detroit. Makes perfect
What about
sense.
his injuries? What about his age? What about his inconsistencies?
Well, I think Hamilton brings a left-handed bat. He has speed. He can bat. I mean, like, you know, he can bat for power. Also, you got that left field Porsche America he can use.
What about Victor?
All right, hey, let's just paint the picture. They get Hamilton. Righty and Austin Jackson, number 1. Lefty and Hamilton, number 2. Righty, lefty, switch. That's a really good top 5. I won't argue with that. But do you know how much money it's going to cost to get Josh Hamilton?
About 60 million.
But you want the Tigers to be like the Yankees.
No, I don't. I think you saw what happened to the Yankees this year, last year. The Yankees are not. They're not on the same level because they have something called the Yes Network, which pays them about $400 million a year. So the Yankees as a team could operate at a loss. They could be spending $401 million a year. You know what I mean? And you know, they still got ticket revenues, merchandise, all that. They're still making money from.
But
they're not on the same page, and I don't want to be on that page.
What was your views, both you guys' views about the Tigers this season?
Good
great
season.
They had a good season.
Good season.
They can do better.
it was too much of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It was kind of underwhelming.
Obviously, the White Sox and the Indians, you know.
You know, guy to watch out for next year is who is his closer in the minor leagues?
Rondon.
Rondon. Yeah, I think he's gonna be. He'll be up in the big leagues. He'll be the team starting closer next year.
You got Rondon, you got Albuquerque, you got Villarreal, you got Dotel, Koch, Benoit.
I mean, Coke made a strong case about being a closer.
He did pretty well. He did pretty
Bullpen
well.
will be fine.
I don't think Koch can be a closer though because he cannot handle righties. You know, closers you got to have some 95 plus stuff, handle both sides of the plate. So I don't think closer's going to be a big issue though, because then like you said, if one of these minor leaguers or Villarreal or whoever they throw in there doesn't work out, the trade deadline.
Right, and then of course you got Quentin Berry. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Quentin Berry starts at left field on opening day.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the outfielders. All right, I'm going to list you some guys. Avisail Garcia,
Yep.
Quentin Berry,
Stay.
Andy Dirks,
Stay.
Brennan Bosch.
Traded.
Offered a contract to Brennan Bosch today.
No.
Yes, they did.
Oh, they did?
They did.
Good God.
Okay, so there's 4 outfielders in the mix. Who are your corner fielders? It's opening day.
Jackson, Dirks.
Wait, Jackson's in center.
No, you're Jackson center, Berry at left, Dirks at right.
Can't argue that, but
You like Barry?
I would say Garcia did very well this series.
He did. He's still very young.
Yes, still very young, yes.
Okay, let's say Hamilton gets signed by the Cubs or something, whatever. I don't know. Hamilton gets signed. He's not on the table anymore.
Nope.
Anyone else that
No.
you want from the outside to
No.
play corner off the spot?
No.
Anthony?
No.
No. You think we go in-house?
Yes.
What about the Peralta signing?
That was a good sign. I think it was a good signing because
Oh,
Peralta
yes,
did
yes.
produce.
Opening points.
Peralta did produce in the ALCS especially.
He bat 239 with like 50.
But he did
60
produce.
RBIs.
I mean,
He had a down year.
He
He
doesn't
did.
have the range to be a good short. He's got the average, you know what I mean? But the thing is, I'm worried about his range. You know, I'm just worried about his range, you know what I mean?
I'm worried
Yeah.
about his range because look who plays next to him. Miguel Cabrera.
Mm-hmm.
No range.
No range.
Peralta. No range.
No range.
There's no
Scary.
range in this infield.
Scary.
It is kind of scary.
well, also if you look at too, the AL Central's going to get better too. You got the Indians and
Sure.
the White Sox. The Indians just got
Francona.
Francona.
Well, guys, we'll get into the hot stove a little more as the winter goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, baseball. And take us out.
We'll be right back to Between Taorminas on ONTV.
You know that the Tigers are.
Well. Look at what's happened here. Who would have ever thought it? Matter of fact, I actually bet Joe Johnson, and I bet that we would never see this day. But guess what? We have seen this day. I just want to send a shout out to my favorite show on ONTV, Between Taorminas. Congratulations on your 52nd episode, making it a year, and boy, we're happy you're here. Ian, when you show up, you're great. Sammy, you're still my third favorite shot put coach in Orion Township. And Anthony, well, you're my favorite. So anyway, just want to give you guys a shout out. Congratulations. And I know that none of this could happen without Pat, the director, who really pulls it all together. So appreciate the opportunity to be on your show. I'm coming back to get you guys, and keep it going. Let's see you next year for 104. Thanks, guys.
Between Taorminas on ONTV. This week we've got the Dragons. The Dragons got a nice win against Sterling Heights Stevenson.
Barely squeaked one out.
This week they're going to play Utica Eisenhower. Let's recap Stevenson. What did you think about that, Sammy?
I was surprised, I'm going to be honest with you, because, but really I wasn't, because, Stevenson, they had a whole different offensive change from the year that Jason Mercasa, Rick By era, and now they went to it's more of a power running attack, which they ended up just could not. The Dragons' defense has shut them down. I mean, you just got to give that defense credit. You know what I mean?
Give Dave Tooley
Got to
credit.
give Dave Tooley credit. You got to give Eric Jennings credit. You got
Tooley
to
still
give.
got the mustache?
Yes, he does. And you got to give Jason Blackstock a lot of credit in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And,
John Blackstock.
and of course, you got to give Coach Cole a lot of credit, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, also too, one thing that I noticed from the game was, Stevenson was pretty small in numbers a little bit in terms of the depth.
Remember 2010, okay? Rick By left, he retired.
Yeah, it was a sad day.
And then new coach Steve Gorstelli was he had a bear cover. Stevenson struggled their first 2 years. In 2011 they were 1-8. So this is a good season for Stevenson. They're on the right path back. They're going to be a good team next year to Mac Red.
Well, now moving on from Stevenson, where the Dragons moving on to face Utica Eisenhower, a team that has defeated Warren Mott 28-0. You and I both saw Eisenhower week 2 against was it Henry Ford?
Utica
Ford. And one thing that I noticed about them, impressive on the offensive line, but the thing is this team can be beat.
Well, this team is big. They have a big line. Of course, they have a 3-year quarterback in Joe Zervafa, who's of course, he can run as well. He can throw as well. They got they got 4 good running backs. Of course, they're senior laden.
Yep.
Of course, they just got their best running back in Shane King. He can, he's a power back. He's a tough back. All 4 of those guys over there at Eisenhower are really tough. And then they got a good receiver who had weird enough, he had a one-handed touchdown catch. A 22-yard one-handed touchdown catch last week against Warren Mott. This is a dangerous matchup, I think, for Lake Orion's defense.
What about Eisenhower on defense? Eisenhower doesn't give up a lot of points. They've given up.
Both Lake Orion and Eisenhower, they've given up an average.
They give up 103 points a game.
Right. Well, Lake Orion's given 103.
103 a game?
Well, no, not 103 a game, but 103 in total.
Okay.
My bad. Forgive me.
Lake Orion's given up 103 points. Utica Eisenhower 106. If you look at it here, I think they're both evenly matched. But I think if you look at, I don't think Utica Eisenhower has not seen a team like Lake Orion's going to give them. I think I think Lake Orion's a faster team than Warren Mott. I think that
What about most teams in the MAC?
I think they're faster than most teams in the MAC. But I think this is a very interesting matchup on defense, especially because you have 2 very good defenses going against one another.
What's more surprising to you? Eisenhower 28-0 over Mott,
Wasn't surprised over that.
or 35-0 over Stevenson?
I think more surprising was the Dragons 35-0 over Stevenson, more so than Ike over Warren Mott, because Ike competes in the MAC Red and Warren Mott competes in the MAC White.
Yeah, but 2 years ago, Warren Mott was in the MAC Red.
But at the same time, the competition level that Ike has is a lot tougher than Warren Mott, so that didn't surprise me. But I was surprised with how the Dragons manhandled Sterling Heights Stevenson. I thought Stevenson was going to give them a game, but you got to give credit to the Dragons, both on offense, defense, and special teams, where they prepared for them well. They had a very good week of practice.
Good game plan.
Great week of practice.
It's going to be key for them to have a great week of practice, especially against Utica Eisenhower, because Utica Eisenhower is a really big team. They're big in size. They got a good defense, a 4-year quarterback, good receiver, and 4 good running backs.
I think the key, and there's one thing that I noticed too from the Stevenson game, time possession. The Dragons dominated the time possession for most of especially in the first quarter and the second quarter. If you've noticed, it was 28-0 at halftime. Because the Dragons controlled time possession. Time possession is going to be very important in this game. Whoever wins the time possession wins this game. It happened against Clarkston, with Clarkston winning it based on time possession. It's going to be very crucial because Eisenhower runs a power football offense.
They rely a lot on King, but they also got 3 other good backs too.
Right, but at the same time, you look at how that. But the thing is that Eisenhower's not seen a team like the Dragons, as far as the offensive threats that they have. I don't think Eisenhower has the firepower to cover the Dragons offensively.
So what wins? Power or speed? Size or speed?
I think speed wins this game. Here's why. Because if you look at what Lake Orion has, they've averaged 38 points a game. Utica Eisenhower has actually averaged 28 a game. I think if you look at the games at Lake Orion, I think it's going to be a touchdown game. It's going to be a 7-point game.
Shootout?
No, it's going to be a low-scoring affair.
Really?
I think it's going to be Lake Orion 17. I'm going to take it back. It'll be a 3-point affair. I think it'll be Lake Orion 20. Utica Eisenhower 13.
You said 3-point game. Now you're saying it's going to be a
It'll be a
7-point game.
7-point game. I changed my
2013.
To
2013.
2013.
What was your call last week?
I said last week was 34-24.
Well, you were close on the Lake Orion score. Ant, what do you got?
I'm not going to name a score, but obviously, I think the game being at Lake Orion is going to help the Dragons. I think that the Dragons are a lot more equipped this time around. I'm not saying Eisenhower's a bad team. They have a history of struggling on the road. Their 2 losses that they had this season were on the road. They lost at Chippewa Valley and they lost at Macomb,
21-7.
Dakota. Also, I just think that the Dragons are going to win this at home. They're going to find a way to win it at home. It's going to be a hard-fought game, though.
My score is 42-35 Dragons. 6-7.
Not bad.
No. Yeah, 6-5
Not bad.
touchdowns. All right, Ant.
We'll be right back to Between Taorminas on ONTV. We'll talk about Lions coming up.
Between Taorminas, Mickey York here from Fox Sports Detroit. Congratulations on 52 shows in 1 year. I don't think I do that many television shows in a year. When are you going to have me on, by the way? And I don't want to be in the call-out segment. Congratulations, guys.
Hey, Sammy, Anthony, Ian. Hey, congratulations, guys. 52 in a row. That's quite an accomplishment. You know, I think of 52. Sammy reminds me of all those penalty yards you had against Rochester your senior year. So, hey, good number. But proud of you guys. You guys become a Lake Orion icon, and it's been a lot of fun watching you. So keep up the great work, and congratulations.
Between Taorminas on ONTV. Ian, what do you think of my hosting?
Think it stinks? Think I'm going to retire?
You be cool.
Okay, let's talk about the Lions. Another one of those last-minute wins against another team that they should be.
No, they were underdogs in Seattle. This is why I still think of the Lions. Even they got a favorable schedule.
They don't have a favorable schedule.
You know? They play Jacksonville this week.
Okay, that's Houston, 2 against Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota.
Well, I think they can get Chicago back. They won't beat Minnesota.
What?
And
It's in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
Well, hey, you can say this about the Lions game. It was their best offensive performance of the year.
Yes.
Can we argue with that? I don't think we can.
No.
That's not saying a lot.
Titus Young Sr. had a great game.
Hey, and Matt Stafford, was that a touchdown in the first half of the game?
Yeah.
Let alone the first quarter? Holy mackerel.
Mm-hmm.
So
So they play Jacksonville this week.
they'll win
right.
that handily.
You think they'll win it handily?
Yes.
Didn't Jacksonville didn't Green Bay kind of struggle with Jacksonville?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that right? Fringe for some reason.
Didn't
They're going to lay an egg, though, against the Lions.
You think so?
you think
Yes,
so?
they'll lay an egg against the Lions.
What do you
Didn't Green Bay also struggle with Seattle?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was a blown call at the end, but
Yeah.
still.
Yes.
What do I think about this weekend? It's at home.
No,
No, it's in
in
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
It's in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
I don't think that matters. Does anyone even go to the games down there?
Well,
There's
don't
not a
you
lot
think?
going on there.
Don't you think if I remember too, the Lions have a history of not doing great on the road.
That's true. That's true. But
Jacksonville is also the home of the world's largest cocktail party.
ooh, when's that take place?
That already took place last week.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have put you in. We should have took you out to the.
In your tiger outfit
Yeah.
and to Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, the
Yeah.
cocktail party. Yeah.
And enjoy the world's largest cocktail party.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would have fit right in.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think Tim Tebow's going to be traded to Jacksonville? When do you think that's happening?
Give it about 2 weeks.
Well, the trade deadline's Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
So I give it
Give
2
it
days.
next season.
Give it next season.
All right. Well, that's where he belongs, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, unless Jacksonville moves to L.A., then
Right.
they'll
That's
first
who
negotiate.
knows. That could
Then they're
happen.
in a lot of trouble. Yeah.
All right, then. This week we'll have. This week we got call-out session. First, before we start call-outs, please give a prayer to those on the East Coast going through Superstorm Sandy.
Sandra.
It's been, we're feeling some effects too, but nothing like what they're going through on the East Coast. Please pray for the victims.
4 Great Lakes, especially Saginaw Bay.
My call out this week is involving, on Friday night, ONTV filmed the game between the Dragons and Titans. They're not allowed to film the game now this week between the Dragons and Eagles. Why? The MHSA came in and said that they couldn't do it. MHSA, you guys need to get a clue. ONTV does a phenomenal job when it comes to filming games, when it comes to giving fair analysis, and also they've got great film people that do the games, and also they're a good crew. MHSA, you should at least give them a chance to film the game. You just choose not to. So instead, we're probably going to get the same old boring type of game, type of announcing. I mean, it's just, why kick ONTV out? They're a good crew. They're a really good crew, good people. You should give them a chance to announce the game. They do a great job. MHSA. All right, we'll see what happens Friday. We'll see what happens Friday.
Might as well give him an F. Might as well give him an F.
Yeah.
Might as well give him an F. Okay, now, first guy I'm going to call out, of course, this guy didn't even want to, of course, this guy's been a nice gesture to us. I mean, like, he said he didn't want to be on the call-out list, and then like that. Too bad! Mickey York, why? Simple. Let's look at it here like this. You didn't want to be on the call-out board. I know you're from Clarkston, but Mickey York. But Mickey York, you said you gave us a nice gesture. You didn't want to be on the call-out list. Well, too bad. You're on the call-out list now.
Didn't Joe Johnson want him to say "Go Dragons"? And he
yes, and he didn't say "Go Dragons." Why? I can't believe he didn't say that. I'll see you in a few weeks.
No doubt. You're more than welcome to come on the show.
I'll see you in a few weeks, Mickey.
You're more than welcome to come on the show.
Mm-hmm. All right, my next call out here, baseball guy, baseball announcer. He didn't even give any love to the city of Detroit, nor Ian Weatherspoon. His name is Joe Buck. Joe Buck what?
Ooh.
Simple. Let's look at it here like this here. Do you give any love to Tigers? No. You talked about the Yankees a lot. You talked about the Giants a lot. Did you talk about the Tigers? No. You didn't talk about them. Why? Because I don't think you like the Tigers. You don't like Detroit. You don't like the Tigers. Admit it. Admit it. If you look at what you've done wrong, there's so much things that you've done wrong. Opening day you were here when we took on Boston. You here when we took on Boston? I mean, you didn't like the way the Tigers operated, And then now you get into the World Series. Joe Buck, you're a disgrace. You are just a disgrace. And seeing that picture, you look like more of a hypocrite than you do in the last 50 years.
Plus, he's from St. Louis.
Plus, he is from St. Louis. What a terrible man.
What a crock.
Yes, he is. Like Batman could get him. And the last call out, of course, he's like, of course, I compare him to a puny.
Isn't he here, boy?
No, he's puny. And this guy is known as David Stern. David Stern, why? Simple. You're puny! Thank God you're retiring in 2014! Thank God! Stern, I have so much things to say about you that I just hate you so much. I hate you so much. Let's look at it here. You got your wish of the Miami Heat winning the NBA title. And now you want to say, woohoo, I want to go to Fairy Tale, going to happy hour, happy retirement. Happy retirement, Stern! That's how you are! You're a disgrace to the league! You're a disgrace to commissioners! You're a disgrace! I don't know. Maybe you and Gary Bettman go out at times and hang out and drink a beer at one time. But you're a disgrace! You are a disgrace, all of Gary Bettman! And of course, you guys hang out.
Just turn into a Gary Bettman call out.
You guys hang out together. You guys hang out together. And David Stern, you hype up LaQueen Jane so much. LaQueen Jane is a princess jerk. You're a disgrace. David Stern, have fun in retirement in 2014. I won't miss you. I won't miss you. I'd say good riddance. Goodbye.
You know what? You won't be getting in the mail anytime soon.
No, you won't be getting that anytime
No retirement party invitation.
No retirement party.
Nope.
Yeah. Wow. So.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Real crazy.
So any final shout-outs, both of you guys?
Well, I think Sammy and I are going to work on a little joint call-up next week. You guys have done one together. I think it's time for Samuel and I to do one.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that.
Yep. We're going to do it once together next week.
Yep.
Nice.
And that person better look
also,
out.
what do you guys think about this possible rumor coming around that some guy wearing a Michigan superhero person is wanting to come on next
Get
week?
through me because I'll tell you what, he'll be dressed in green and white in the next few weeks.
Is that person coming on this show?
Yes. He's been called out a couple times.
Really?
Yes.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. God bless you. Between
Pray
Taorminas
for the victims of Hurricane
on
Sandy.
ONTV.